I'd always been the small kid growing up, so I never knew what it was like to fit in and have people accept me for who I am. This included sports, school, even my family sometimes just saw me as the baby. But I wanted to be more than that. I wanted to have an identity. So when I was 7, like my siblings, I went to camp for my first year. And yeah, they were there, and they were looking out for me. But they didn't need to. Because this was my space. This was where I had my identity. This was where I belonged. Eventually, my siblings stopped coming to camp, and I was on my own. And everybody worried about me and thought that I was gonna get homesick because I didn't have my siblings there. But I thrived. I made it to the top of the rock wall. I built my own campfire. And I made new friends. But most importantly, what I did was find a home. I belonged at camp. I knew I wanted to be a staff member from the first moment I set foot on that island. And after going through CIT and the LIT programs, finally I got my camp name. I had been going to camp for 10 years, and to this day I still have no idea what the name Healy means. But I also don't want to know, because it ruins the magic. The campers see us as people that they can look up to, no matter how silly the name. Even if they can't pronounce it. We are who they look up to for a week, sometimes even longer. These 2 boxes contain my entire childhood. And that's not even enough space. They're full. From my first year as a camper to my last year on staff. Within them, I have homemade camp bracelets. I have pictures painted for me by campers, labeled so that I know who did it, what session they were, and what year of staff that was. I have gifts from CITs that shadowed us. Presents from secret friends, which is a really fun thing that we do on the island. Old pictures from camp that I'm in, that I've taken. A quote that I live my life by. It says, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts." Newspaper clippings from things that have happened on or around the island that have affected it. Just random things from camp. But if I dig far enough down into this box, I find awards, swim awards from program staff that are given out at the end of each session. I got the swim award because I spent the week swimming after pool noodles because they floated away and nobody wanted to get them because of the seaweed. However, if I dig to the bottom of this box, I find camper letters from when I was a camper and the things that I enjoyed and the reasons I loved camp. In this one, the week I was there, I spent the entire week killing spiders. So, my counseling staff, their names were Tetley and Dingo. Underneath I found out their real names, but I still didn't care. I liked their camp names. But in this one, I was an example of bravery in the cabin because I faced the rampant spider population in the washrooms. And my counselors believed that it was because of me that the campers in my cabin overcame their fear. This is an important award to me. This is the very first award that I got when I went to camp. Again, I spent the entire week cleaning the cabin because it was my first year and I didn't know what else to do. My counselors and CIT that week were Pip, Tulip, and Moogie. I have a itinerary for my summer as a CIT from Indy and Griff. These are just a few things that I've gotten while I've been at camp. And as you can see, the floor around me is a mess from all of these things. And after 10 years, you get a special plaque thanking you for 10 years of service. And on it, it has one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. This was shot from our campfire and sundowner area. I've never seen a prettier sunset. Some of the most important things that I've learned while I was at camp, as a camper, as a staff member, CIT, it doesn't matter. Every summer I learned something new. I learned perseverance. I made it to the top of that rock wall. And every summer after that, I made it to the top. I learned bravery. I faced the spider population. I learned acceptance. Every year there was somebody new that needed a friend. I learned to be strong. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you. but you have to find a way to get along with that person for a week, 2, sometimes the entire summer. And I learned to fight for what I love, be it career-wise or anything. But most importantly, I learned how to love. I fell in love with this island at the age of 7. I've seen a lot of other kids do it. They come to this island and they look at it and they think, there's no way I'm gonna have a good time there. It looks run down. I just want to go home. And by the end of the week, they have a group of new friends. And they love their counselors. Okay, sometimes they don't love them, but they like them. And then they just never want to leave. Staff members wait 10 months of the year to spend 2 months on this island. Campers aren't so lucky. Sometimes they wait 11 months. 11 months and 3 weeks. Whatever the time frame is, they have to wait longer than the staff. And they only get a week. I wear my staff shirt with pride. Not because I have to, but because I choose to. And when people stop me in the street and ask me what Camp Maple Leaf is, I can't figure out how to describe it to them. So I just tell them that if they get the opportunity to experience it, they absolutely have to take it, because it will change their life for the better.